Welcome, students, to another episode of Manhood Academy podcasting. We have with us new students galore. We have with us one of the longtime celebrities who only makes cameo appearances once a year. The one, the only Wolfgang, 85.
Greetings, everyone. First time here. Glad to be here.
Less shy than I pictured you would be. I pictured you'd say one word every 5 minutes, not 10 words every minute. It's very shocking. Very shocking, to say the least. So there must be a shocking, shy film going on in your head 24/7. But once you start talking, it's like, it kind of dissipates.
It's true a little bit. Like, I am very neurotic. I do, think about things a lot.
Yeah, here's the thing.
I'm able to speak.
Here's the thing that's good about social interaction. Like, right now, you look at you, you can't tell you're neurotic. You're speaking a couple words, like you're answering questions like a non-neurotic person, nobody will be able to tell. But once you leave the group, then it's back to your head, and it's back to all the neurotic thoughts. That's the thing that prevents you from even, socializing or joining a class or contributing in the first place. So, once you enter into the social zone, or social circle, or social whatever, it's kind of like you don't have time, or you don't have the attention to direct towards all the neurotic thoughts, and answering the questions, and participating and socializing. So it's kind of like an off button for your neurotic thoughts. Whereas when you're by yourself, you don't have anything else to concentrate on but your neurotic thoughts. So that's why it's good to get into the social habit, to get in the classroom, to get with people, whatever. Whatever your expectation is, at the very least, it's going to stop the neurotic chatter in your head for a while. Now, once the neurotic chatter stops, that means the bad teacher stops speaking, and that allows me to start speaking. That allows me to teach you something. So it's very important to get into that social circle, social setting. That's where all the checks and balances come in. If you don't have any checks and balances system other than your own head, that's where the problems start. So
yeah, I agree with that, and that's also another reason why I wanted to join the class, because I wanted you to be able to help me and tell me if I'm doing something good or something bad, in my social interactions, at school or people I know, they don't tell me if I'm doing something good.
Exactly, they're just gonna be like, all right, stop talking, or they're just gonna walk away.
Exactly, and you don't know if you don't know if you did something wrong, or if you did something right, or if no one talked to you, or they were busy, so you just end up being even more neurotic.
Exactly. Sorry, I'm chuckling right now. I'm seeing a student from Australia. We have Oz right now.
Australia.
Can you see the other guys, Wolfgang?
Yes, I can.
Do you see the Australian student?
Which one is he? Is he
He's on the other side of the world.
Okay. Yeah. It's like going upside down.
G'day, mate. What the hell happened to your camera? His camera's jacked and his microphone's jacked.
It's because it's the southern hemisphere.
You on the other side, mate?
Wait, is the Australian student Xenic?
Oz.
No, I'm Canadian.
His camera's jacked too.
Oh, he's Canadian.
Let's see, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We got room for one more. Who's the lucky?
You just have to flip your camera upside down now. You just need to have to flip it back. What if we all have an upside down camera class? I have a laptop. It's like, hey guys, what's up?
Now you feel better, Oz. You don't feel as retarded now. That's okay, Oz.
Actually, having Oz's camera upside down, now that I've seen it, I kind of like it that way. I feel like you should always have it like that.
Are you going to talk backwards too? What happened to your mic, Oz?
Oz, your mic.
It's shot to hell. Why don't you exit the class and try joining again? Maybe that'll fix it. Upside down mic. Interesting. Okay, where were we? Okay, so, new student guy, Wolfgang, welcome to the class. We got Xenic back with us. We got Travo. Could you speak up, Wolfgang?
Yeah, sure.
Perfect, that's fine. Just want to be able to hear you. Okay, so we're going to Gambler PUA training. I love this little newsletter. I'm Gambler, I'm PUA. I like to, I was going to cancel all the newsletters, but I like to get style life form. I like to keep tabs on the seduction community to see what kind of nonsense they're into. This guy keeps sending out videos, and he just made a new book or something. And it was kind of interesting because I used to post things about, the seduction community when I was receiving their retarded newsletters. But lately they've just been the same kind of nonsense, so I put this guy in the spam folder, at least in one of the other accounts I have. So, but anyway, let me go to calendar section here, and just to show you how to work the calendar. All right, so you see the calendar page right here pop up? All right, close that. So if you want to get an entry, let's say you got a 1 p.m. entry here. So I click on the 1 p.m. section. I enter in class. Okay, now it's going to give me options, reminders right here. You see this right here where my mouse is?
Yeah, I see that.
Click that, gone.
Okay, then it won't remind me.
So you have the option to remind yourself of events if something comes up, because it's always thinking, hey, that's an important event coming up. So it'll either send it. You could have the option to send a text to yourself or email or both. So if something's super important that you don't want to miss, have it send it to your text message and your email. If you don't want it repeating, you just want to check your calendar, you can get rid of all those reminders on there. You can color code.
What I'm doing right now is I'm using Google Docs, but I'm using the Excel in Google Docs. So it's like sharing any Google document.
It seems like extra steps, though, because you're going to have events you want to remember anyway, regardless, on your calendar. Plus, your calendar already comes with a handy-dandy, you could switch from, it gives you the option to go to day view.
Yeah. So
I could go and check my whole day, and it breaks it up into half-hour increments, which is nice. You could check your week view, so you can see ahead of time what's going on each day for the week. You could switch to month view. You could switch to 4 days, agenda, etc. So you got a bunch of different choices here. You could print out your calendar. So this is just a really handy thing to have. And you go to any computer, you can always check your calendar. You can check it from your phone. Always keep a printed copy of your schedule with you for the week. So at the very least, you want to have a week printed out copy with you. But this is just a really convenient thing. And also, you could add calendars here. It says My Calendar or Other Calendars. You could add your friend's calendar.
Yeah, we had other calendars shared.
Yeah, that's a great thing. So you could automatically know what somebody's supposed to be doing. Like, let's say somebody's supposed to be working on the Manhood Academy post, and you guys have accountability groups or whatever you guys are joining on the forum. I think Torero is starting accountability groups, which you guys should all be joining. Even if you have no schedule, you should still be joining them. And then you can check your schedule and your other Manhood Academy buddy schedule and go, oh, this guy should be posting right now. And you can even call him or send him a text to just check on him. Are you posting? Are you doing this thing you're supposed to be doing on your calendar? Because you have access to his calendar. So it has so many pluses to it. If you ever get a chance, get used to Google Calendar. Get familiar with it. Take 10 minutes. Just spend the time. Just you could. There's YouTube videos. There's docs. There's a lot of help files on here. So it's really easy to learn. It's pretty intuitive. If you have any questions, just post them on the forum. But this is just really good for developing your schedules. And again, for keeping your partner accountable to a schedule. You want to get with another student at the academy. Why can't I speak? You want to get with another student at the academy and be accountable to that other student. So it's a good idea. If you don't have that done right now, start transferring your schedule over into Google Calendar. You will love it after a while because it's very simple and it's very helpful. So if you don't have a partner right now, after class, message somebody directly. As Travel found out, I have shut off the group sending feature because for some reason students were sending invites and things out to everybody, the entire academy. That includes just registered and new members. It could go to just a chick, a guy, it doesn't matter. So
okay.
you guys need to, yeah, I would. I would open the feature up because I thought you guys would intuitively look down at the legend and see all the people in green are officially enrolled students. All the people in orange are scholarships. Those are the only two groups you should be sending anything to. But I figure you are students, and if you're students at Manhood Academy, I now err on the side of retardation. So I have shut off the option. This has a plus and a minus. So on the minus side, you can no longer just send conveniently to the student group or the student body here. On the plus side, this is going to force you to have more individual interaction. So if you need to send to like 5 people or multiple people for a bro day, you're going to be forced to send those invites out individually, which is a little tedious, but it's also good because now it forces you to contact students individually, which you should be doing anyway. So I think this kind of kills 2 birds with 1 stone, me shutting off the group feature. So on one hand, I was, new students sending their emails out to every fucking person on the planet. But on the other hand, it helped me develop the new system we have now. So thank you, Travo, and thank you, the other student who sent out multiple emails to everybody at the academy.
No problem.
Did it say, by the way, when you sent those out, the groups, did it just say, did it post every group in the send, who you're sending it to? Did you not see that you were sending it to, everybody in the academy?
I didn't. The way I did it is I went to the members list and see the members who had the most posts.
Yeah, I know that's the way you did it, but I'm saying in the send field, it should have told you, when you collect those groups to send it to, it should have told you, you're sending to this group, registered users, new users, students, etc. Because when it sends to me, it sends, every single name.
I don't think it did.
Okay, well, we don't even need to worry about that, so it's irrelevant. So get familiar with the schedule, use the schedule. Oh, I got a text message. I wonder if it's important. I got a text from Boggles today, because I just rebanned him again for the day. I think he was planning on coming rebanned after he was just banned. He was planning on coming back to class, but he's supposed to have an apology and apology ready for the academy, a 1-pager, and apology ready for franchise, I believe.
He still didn't do that?
Asshole did not have them ready. Tells me, oh, I'm just proofreading them right now. I'm just doing this. Yeah, asshole, you were supposed to do that the whole fucking week you were banned.
I told him to
Fucking
do that, but
fail
he
Boggles.
hated it, man.
Fail
He
Boggles.
said he wasn't going to get back in.
Yeah, well, that's Boggles for you. He likes to learn things the hard way. Ah, Boggles. Just thinking about Boggles makes me want to fry my brain. All right. So here's the. Let me get off the. Let me close this out because we talked about the schedule. So let me click, close. All right, let's go to share. Oh, welcome, Paper. Welcome, Paper Clip.
Paperclip!
Okay, you guys. Some of you have seen the new banner. That is.
I laugh so hard when I first saw it.
This is the Manhood Academy banner. This is our 22nd banner. I've added a few changes to it. So I added these. What are these called? Nazguls or whatever the hell they're called. Somebody suggested adding these, but now it's covering the little puppy right here. So I'm wondering. I get almost a more serene feel looking at this because it's got more green, but this looks a little more adventurous. So I'm wondering, what do you guys think as far as banners go? Do you like the original serene green, or do you like the one with a more exciting theme where there's Nazguls attacking people and just more things going on?
Well, assuming that
You have the one with the Nazgul for sure. The Nazgul one's the better.
Go back to the first one.
Go back.
I know that you have amazing shopping skills, Plum, so maybe you could, shop in Nazguls to ride the dog or something.
Yeah, I don't care about the puppy.
It's
I
just-
like that. Bad guys more.
There's just not enough room.
In fact, the puppy, I don't even understand why it's there. It just goes
It's
as
perfect.
Well, I like how you don't understand.
Bunnies.
I like how you don't understand why the puppy's there, but you understand why the kitty's there, the dog, the rooster, the squirrel,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
and
What's
Hillary's
Hillary
there.
Clinton doing there?
I understand it. It's just it's so compared to the Nazgul.
You understand it more than me, which is disturbing.
My question is, what's Hillary Clinton doing there?
She's got the hand over the ball.
She's
Well,
not a
It's
witch.
like Saruman.
She's
manipulating
Saruman.
everything for the enemy. From Lord of the Rings, Saruman. The guy with the weird fingers.
I have no idea about Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, there was really I think the theme was the journey to the center of your ball, so I knew it was going to be a kind of like an adventurous Lord of the Rings, so I threw the Lord of the Rings guys in there. I thought there had to be like an elfish sword, and the first sword was kind of not as fiery, not as vibrant, not as flaming, so I made it a little more exciting. Then I wanted to have a little pipe in there. I wanted to give it a little rustic theme, a little hobbity theme. Put a little compass in there, give it to make you think of like Gandalf and like an old room. Then I thought there needed to be some evil eyes, and I forgot the reason for the evil eyes originally, but
Oh, Saruman. No, Sauron. It's the guy with the great eye.
nah, he has the red eye, but these are like two little green eyes. They're like cat eyes.
Yeah.
So I don't remember why I put them in there, but they kind of look cool, so I left them in there. Then I thought, well, I thought about, the Precious and the ring and everything. We don't have a ring here, so I figured the ebook would be the Precious. So, and I don't know why it's flying exactly, but it looked kind of it didn't look too exciting, just floating in the air. So I put some motion lines here to make it flying through the air. Now it looks a little more exciting.
Well, you should, instead of putting the puppy there or the Nazgul, you should put Gollum there. Like the little guy.
Gollum
guy
there.
who's precious.
Why is there a pipe?
Why is there a pipe?
Because it's Gandalf.
Oh yeah, that's for Gandalf. That's to make you think of a wizard.
Yep.
Can't relate to this
Yeah,
image.
I like this
I
one.
never seen Lord of the Rings.
Then there's
You missed out.
bunnies, cats, chickens, dogs, just to keep our wildlife theme going. And Nazguls, not certain if I want to keep the Nazguls there. Just,
I think the dog is just
they're kind of foreboding, and they go with the dark colors. See the dark colors around. I like that dark theme, but I like this grassy theme. It's kind of naturey to me. It makes me.
I
think
don't
of
understand
nature.
it. I just look at the banners and think, oh, they're cool. Nice Photoshop skills.
There's not a lot of understanding. I wonder if people stare at the banners and they kind of like, for instance, the one I would think people would stare at if I was going to stare at one would be. Let me move over to it. Manhood Academy tour. If you go to click on the tour, you can see all the banners. I usually add them in one place because it takes it's kind of like pulling the slot machine when you join the forum or when you click to a new place on the forum, or if you refresh your screen, you never know what banner you're going to get. It rotates. So if you keep getting the same banners and you want to quickly see all the banners, you can click here and it shows you all the banners. I would think people would have a question mark with. Let's see.
I know which one.
Where is it? This one. Like there's a black guy and there's a cat shadow and he's fighting. It looks like he's sparring with animals and it says "We Get Down," and it doesn't really make any sense. It's just I started with a "We Get Down" theme and a boxer guy and it was just kind of blank. I threw some animals in and then a cat thing. It doesn't really.
Yeah. Is that his shadow? Is the cat just his shadow?
What's that?
The cat, is that his shadow?
Well, it is now. It was not purposefully his shadow. It's
Okay,
just,
yeah,
it became his shadow. There's no
Yeah,
point to
that
it.
one doesn't make any sense. I didn't even notice.
Yeah, but I wonder if people just kind of look at it and go, I wonder what he's trying to say. What are these messages? Oh, you're like a bear. You're a
I did,
strong
yeah.
person there. Oh, then you go to your
Well, I
inner
think for sure.
goldfish. And now you're like a snake. You have venom inside you need to get rid of. But then you're a ladybug. You're like, I don't know, an antioxidant in nature. And then you're flying and soaring like an eagle. And then you fight like a praying mantis. And lastly, you got to get rid of your sloth. And then you become a black fighter. And then you're like fast like a cat. And then we get down. Oh, I get it. Like I always imagine people thinking of all these things.
Oh, I get it.
Plum, I love all the symbolism. It's really cool. And
My
then
favorite one is the.
I forgot. I think Trey was it? Somebody requested a black theme. I don't remember if I liked the black theme or somebody requested a black theme. So we threw together a Wesley Snipes, and then we had. I put Church's Chicken on one side because I saw a video of Sean Puffy Combs. He had a plate of Church's Chicken on one side and a plate of Kentucky Fried Chicken on the other side, and he was doing a taste test. So I thought, well, we need to have a taste test like that. So I put the watermelon and handgun on one side. Just some items from black culture.
Yeah, but I don't get what it means.
Exactly the point. Now you're on board.
A video game for your balls. That's one of my favorites.
Every once in a while, there's one theme. Like I think somebody recommended a Viking theme. Boke was one of our past students, and he really liked Vikings. He's a great student. If a student is really participating and really helping out, I'll lend an ear to his cause. So I didn't really like Vikings, but he said, "Hey, I want a Viking theme," so I threw together this Viking theme for him.
I like Bogler's banner the best.
This is a Bogler banner. It's just a
Stronger
curry.
than curry?
A lot of Indian themed banner.
Although I don't get why there's a burrito, except for the fact that
Blueberry squishies and microwave
I
burritos.
thought my favorite one. All balls are created equal, and it shows like all these great leaders, and then it shows slump.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
you know, I don't know if these leaders they're maybe revolutionaries, I guess. And then there was a Manhood Academy student. It's like the
Take a
Black
prayer.
March and people standing up for civil rights. And
Yeah, I like that song.
get off the
When I'm at
drugs,
that,
son. This
Get off the drugs, son.
one really has no theme other than just to stay off drugs and go to Manhood Academy.
High school 101.
Billy
I like that one.
keeps
Yeah,
his
it's so
bitches
cool too.
check. This one is more like it's kind of a studious theme. I wanted to convey the thought that we're going to school here. Then I figured I wanted to step it up a little bit and show that Billy can keep his bitches in check. So it's got a few, you know,
It's got a bullet, a con.
Yeah, what's the bullet for?
just, in case,
Plus a
just
cap on
as a
your
last resort, just in
So
case
on the school team.
his expectation
Yeah,
management
okay.
fails, he can pull the gun out.
Hey, bitch,
Goes on
it's
top
not gonna do themselves.
Then I was looking.
See, like a couple of these are like pretty provocative, but when I'm at school, like I don't want people behind me like looking.
Yeah,
at me.
some of these
I
are
quickly scroll down, I quickly scroll
these
down
are
so they can't get
very
mad.
very controversial.
I did
Like,
the same thing.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but the He's So Nice one is like my favorite.
what's one? Oh, he's so.
Nice! He's so nice!
This one actually came out well because it has like it ended up having a theme. I didn't. This chick was actually supposed to go with this one below it, where the three guys, where the manginas were on here. This chick was actually supposed to be sneering at them, going, "Oh, he's so nice," but it just didn't. It didn't really feel right. So I threw her on her own banner. Then I started making this one where I'm not sure of the theme.
Are you trying to do like a Darth Vader where he says, "There's no escape"?
No, it was just supposed to be a Michael. What's not Michael? Jason from Friday the 13th theme.
Oh, that's right.
And then it's just kind of a meshing of themes. It's really just visually what looks good to me, but I try to get a theme going, but if it doesn't happen, then I just try to make it visual at the end. So,
You should have just put Darth Vader there because that would have fit perfectly.
yeah, no, it wouldn't have fit. All right, so then there's this Manhood account. I was looking at all the themes here, and they look really super busy. And then I thought, you know what? Eventually you are going to land on a page, and you're going to refresh your screen, and you want a calm, serene theme. So I thought, well, why not have Manhood Academy with all this controversy, civil rights, this, that, war, etc. So in the background, you see a light shadowing of like these human events that are pretty dramatic, and then you come to Manhood Academy, and it's just flowers, a field of flowers, and you're just serene. So you're just in a serene, safe
That's
place.
funny.
Hey, hold on, guys. Did you guys read the message that's left on the left-hand side of the screen? Sorry, my grandma fell down and I had to manage her up and get her off the ground.
What?
the hell? Someone almost died.
Who? Hey Plum,
Someone's grandma almost died.
where's that? Oh,
I
hey
guess
Plum,
so.
our class is the same time every week.
Oz is my.
Is this Oz? Oh, Oz, your
Yeah,
mic is gone,
mic
right?
must be broken.
Classes are typically around this time. We started an hour later today because I'd like to be able to put them on my schedule. Yes, that's not funny, jackass.
Oh, you were
Sorry,
serious,
dude.
Josh?
I didn't think you were being serious.
Hopefully she's okay. People falling down is funny. No. So the classes are usually going to be around 6 on Tuesday and Wednesday and 10 on Friday and Saturday. So you could schedule those. We'll try and keep them around those times, but like this today changed because I had something to do that I couldn't get out of. Also, okay, not also, but back to our theme. This one, so this one came together nicely. This was this chick ended up being on her own banner. I can't remember how it started out. I think there was a cockroach, and then it kind of came together in my head like, oh, he's the nice guy. And the blood was actually put last. It looks like the cockroach is sort of squished, and it came out that way, but I just didn't have enough red in here, so I wanted to tie it in. So I put a little paintbrush stroke here, and it became like a little blood. Then I put some themes here of common things that guys give to girls when they don't know any better. There's nothing wrong with giving flowers, teddy bears, chocolates, and money, but
Circumstances.
if you're giving all these things without getting anything in return, you are a fool. And this is what guys usually do when they end up giving all this stuff. So I thought that one came. I don't actually like this because it's like a commercial to me. It's like a really slick. It feels like a slick salesman commercial. It's like visually appealing, but I don't like it. Whenever I get it, I just refresh right off of this. I like this one because it's got a lot of blue. I like the blue, little hints of blue. Anything where it's like it looks like an anime film almost, I like it. This one is pretty slick. If I get on this one, this is almost like pulling the slot machine. When you click refresh on your screen, sometimes you get the Star Wars theme here. This is one of the good ones to land on because
It's my first time seeing this one.
Make a few friends, and it's got the whole, all the Star Troopers, bros before hoes. It's just a humorous thing, and it really speaks to me. It really says imperialism. I don't know. This one was my first comic book themed one. I don't remember how this came about. I remember there was going to be a dictator, and then something about a button. He's pushing a nuclear button. These action lines were added at the very end because it wasn't very exciting. And of course, we got the cat with a lucky clover there, which
Never seen that before.
I don't know what that is about.
You just pointed that out to me.
Yeah, and some of these things you won't even notice because your brain won't process it. This was the original banner. This one actually sort of made sense here.
I like that one.
If you
That's
remember the
classic.
original, it's very classic, very
Classic.
very chic. If you've seen the original banner at the front homepage, if you just go to manhoodacademy.com, it'll take you right to the homepage, and you'll see a lot of these themes here. Let's see if they even match up. Manhood Academy.
There's the beat down.
Oops. Manhood Academy. Okay, so if you go to the homepage, if that ever loads up. Well, how come whenever I need the internet to work fast, it works slow? And whenever I don't really care if it works fast, it works
Because
fast?
of SOPA, that's why.
Bad luck.
Alright, well. Anyway, this is based off of the homepage. The homepage has, I think, all these images on here. And this one actually came, if you don't know this, the history of the forum was going through a lot of theme changes, and this is one of the themes. I don't remember if some of the early students, there was like a grass and like a nature-y leaf theme. And some of the...
Like the green.
Yeah.
Those are the good old days. When the banners were simple.
The good days.
The good days when the banners made sense, when you were at Manhood Academy and all the things related to, sorta in a roundabout way to manhood, I guess. So these are a lot of the inventions and things created by men. So I just wanted to create a sense of what your potential was. Because a lot of you guys, you come here and you're like, I can't do shit. I'm an idiot. I can't socialize. I have so many problems. And then you look back in history at what men did, and you're like, how the fuck is this guy who's at Manhood Academy responsible for all this stuff, all these creations, all these great things? And that's really kind of the theme I want to get across, that a lot of you guys don't realize how much potential you have that is untapped and unrealized. So there's all these things that you could potentially do. You could create a car, you could write a book, you could do something with science, you could write a great novel. There's all these things. There's all these things in history that men are responsible for creating or having a hand in. And yet today, you think of men today, and what do you see when you turn on the TV? You see fools, you see bumbling idiots, you just see like the dorks, refuse, you see like douchebags, you see guys drinking beer, all kinds of derogatory things are thrown at guys today. And so there's no real role model. There's no real sense of what man is capable of. So that's what I kind of wanted to get across with this. This is a simpler version. It's a little less busy than the homepage, which is super busy. Let's see. I think this was the first banner ever made. This top one here. The Bruce Lee banner. Got a cat.
So simple compared to the other ones.
Nice.
First threw our first cat. Had some swords. Just a theme. I think, what did we have before? I forget. I think we had this Manhood Academy banner for the longest time. And then eventually I was like, well, I found this one post about rotating banners, and it said you could rotate banners into your forum. And I thought, well, why don't I have two banners? And then this one developed, and then I thought, oh, why not an Indiana Jones banner? And then all of a sudden, boom! And then it went nuts. Alright, so that's the brief history of Manhood Academy. Let's get to class. Let's see.
Yes. Finally.
Let's get rolling.
After class.
Enough jibber jabber. Let's get it on. Let's get it on tonight. Why?
Why is someone's camera upside down?
Why is the homepage loading super slow, but the forum is loading super fast? It's usually reversed. Okay, let's go to our topics. Did we do expression last time?
Yeah. I think we did.
We covered expression.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's get back on some topics here.
Oh, yes.
Oh, there was two things I wanted to talk about that I completely forgot. We talked about boggles. That was it. It's not even a real issue. What else did I want to talk about? Did somebody bring something up to me today, or somebody discuss something today? Contact me today?
I didn't. No, I didn't.
Might have been Torero. We talked about the ebook.
Terrell brought
Oh,
something
you know
up,
what?
But you posted it on the podcast.
Oh, no. I wanted to talk about it. He asked something in the... Thank you guys, if you guys are going through the ebook and making changes. Not changes, but corrections. If you find any grammar or spelling errors or, anything in there that needs adjusting. Somebody pointed out that one of the pictures, when I made a correction, some of the sentences shifted and the pictures were covering some of the paragraphs. So just any little corrections like that, just go ahead and post them in here in this big thread. I think he asked. Oh no, it was the other one. Whoever's messaging right now, turn off your Gmail.
Sorry, that's the messaging system in the group chat.
Okay, well, whoever's doing that, turn it off. Not turn it off, I mean stop it. Okay. Oz, are you messaging right now? What are you doing? Relax. Alright. Motherfucker. You know what happens to class clowns? They get to write papers, like Boggles. Your last warning. I don't give warnings. You're lucky I just gave you a warning. Let's see here. Alright. Truro asked, okay, this is from the ebook. Negative associations can also be created just by rejecting a thing and then linking unwanted behavior to that rejected thing. And he asked, can you please expand on this a bit? Maybe give it an example. How about somebody who's read the ebook? How about Wolfgang? You read the ebook, Wolfgang?
Wolfgang?
Yes, I have.
Okay, sweet. Can you answer this question? What's a negative association? A negative association can be created just by rejecting something and then linking that unwanted behavior, or linking unwanted behavior, something you don't like, to that rejected thing. Can you give me an example? Or could you expand on that, what that means?
Okay, so, alright, so you can associate something with being bad. Let's say, let's see, how can I put this? Let's say you don't want your girlfriend to get fat, so
Okay.
she eats a lot, so you can say, oh, you eat too much, like you'll be like those fat girls or something like that.
Okay, right, you're along those lines, except this is a little more specific. This is saying, you could take something that's not inherently bad, like a book, and you could reject it, and then link it to something you don't like. Can you give me an example of that?
Okay, so what is this? Okay, so say like a book. Okay.
Right, not bad. It's a book. Good thing, in fact.
Okay. Alright, so you can say this book. Okay, so the book is not bad in itself, but you want to associate with something that's bad.
Right. So you could reject it. Say it's bad. Somehow you gotta reject it or punish it, so to speak. Apply a negative connotation to the book, to reading, to whatever.
Okay, so you can say that the book is stupid and only like whores read this book, something like that.
Yeah, you're along extreme example, but yes, you're along the same lines. Like a classic example that Dice used to use. He'd go to a club and just say, "This club is fucking lame," right? And just because you rejected the club, now it's like you're kind of like the cool guy. It's kind of like you're in charge of saying what has value around you or what is important. So he was kind of throwing his authority around in a kind of like an indirect way. This is the same thing applies here. It's like you could say, let me see if I can make this a little less radical. Book. We would say, reading is retarded because only nerds read. You need to be outdoors and living your life. So let's say your girlfriend is constantly reading or something along those lines, and you want to get her to not read, or you want to create a negative association with that. So you could reject books or reject the library. Reading is retarded. There's so many films you could watch. There's so many people you could talk to. I don't know why anybody would read today, or something along those lines where you're creating a negative association with that activity or that thing, and then you're linking behavior, like you said, making a negative connotation where people who go to clubs are retarded. Same thing. People who read books are nerds or are dorks, don't have a social life, etc. So it's the same general theme that goes along with negative associations in general that we talk about, where we say, I don't like nerds. Nerds are uptight. Nobody likes nerds. So we're creating a negative association. You don't want to belong to the group that's rejected or the thing that's rejected.
Right. So could I just throw in that, let's say Ladice is hanging with this group of friends, and maybe one of them, I don't know, does something wrong with Ladice. Like, why don't you just go to that club? Like, honestly, go screw off that club or something that he already rejected.
Yeah, you could say that. You could say like, yeah, you're one of those club kids. You know when people say, oh, you're one of those, well, when girls will say, oh, you're one of those guys. You ever heard a girl say, oh, you're one of those guys? And you don't even know what type of guy they're talking about yet? That's the same type of thing.
Said it to me 10 minutes ago.
It's like a negative association. Then all of a sudden you're scrambling for a justification. No, I'm not one of those guys. I'm not a douchebag, or I'm not a creep, or I'm not, whatever negative group society has created or she's conjured up. Usually it's society's created. Like, there's usually a negative connotation, like a guy who looks at boobs. Oh, you're a creepy guy. Oh, you're one of those guys. Or a guy who is rude to girls. Or a guy who speaks his mind. Oh, you're a misogynist. Oh, you're one of those guys. Oh, you're a men's rights activist. Oh, you're this, one of those types of guys. There's many groups a girl can associate you with very quickly. If you understand this, then you understand the reverse, which is what you can apply. Oh, you're one of those girls. Oh, you're one of these girls who does this. Oh, you're one of those bitchy girls. Oh, you're one of those shy girls. Oh, So you get that idea. Same thing. The emphasis is not the particular group or the situation, but the fact that you can take anything, create a negative association with it, even good things. And that's often what society does. When you have a dysfunctional society, you take good things and you make negative associations with them. And then people don't want to do those good things. For instance, who knows something in society right now that's a strong negative association attached to it that's really good, that we shouldn't have a negative association attached to it? Patriarchy. Men in charge. Oh, when men are in authority, men who have authority are evil. It's bad to have authority. Everybody should be equal, right? Women should lead the relationship just as much as men. How well does that work out? Not very well. But yet,
Professor.
Yes.
Is it necessary to have authority for the negative association to mean something?
Is it necessary to have authority for the negative association to mean something? Let's see.
Like, let's say if the girl doesn't give a fuck about me. Like, would she care if I make a negative association about something that she likes or that she cares about?
In general, yes, you need authority. But sometimes, well, not sometimes, it depends on, for instance, a bum who has no authority, right, could strongly say in a very authoritative voice something like, you're ugly, you're super ugly, right? It's a bum. You don't care about a bum. But that bum can exercise authority over you. You can feel bad about a bum saying you're ugly. But a bum can also say, clubs are lame. But since you don't care about the bum, you don't care if he thinks clubs are lame, right?
Okay, so it depends on what he says or what the person says?
No, it depends on
how it's said?
I would say how it's said, because when you can exercise authority at any moment, even women. Like if a woman says something very strongly to you and is very convinced, even it could be totally wrong. But if she says, "Look, you need to do it this way," and da-da-da, right? And you're a very passive guy to begin with, you might be more inclined to listen to her. You might be more inclined to obey her just because she says things in an authoritative way with an authoritative voice.
I see.
A lot of people do that. Salespeople, right? Oh, come on. Let's go for a ride. Get this car. Come on.
Come on, bro.
Or like, you've never met like Tony Robbins or like one of those professional speakers? Let's get fired up. There's this video where Tony Robbins watching him speak, and he's this and that, whatever. But he says something. He's got like a little sales technique or a little inspirational technique where he goes, "Come on, be that thing, be that thing." Where he's like trying to psych himself up, like, "Come on, you're a special guy, you can do it," right? But he's saying it very sternly with conviction and slapping his chest real quick and just like very strongly saying this thing, right? If somebody says something just out of the blue and you have no idea who they are and they just say something very strongly to you in a very authoritative voice, you'll be apt to listen to them. Yet on the other hand, a guy who has no authority often will not even say things in an authoritative voice. So I guess that kind of answers the question, because a guy who doesn't have authority isn't going to be speaking with an authoritative voice, number one, and isn't going to be directing traffic, isn't going to be saying, "Here's my expectation." So really, this should give you hope though, because it's really the training. You you being able to say, hey, from an authoritative guy, like you're not a very authoritative guy. You're a very timid guy. But if you could just say something, practice saying something strongly, and then learning how to manage the expectation. If somebody says something negative about your expectation, you're able to punish them, right? The tough part is punishing them. But if you're able to practice that, like, no, it needs to be done this way, then you can affect them very quickly, very quickly. You can make people care about you very quickly.
Okay, just by the way you say things, to them.
Listen to the way I say things, and then listen to the way Travo says things. Travo, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm Travo. What do you think about Travo? Does he sound like the instructor? Or do I sound like the instructor?
You sound like the instructor.
How come?
Yeah.
You want to hear an instructor's voice? DBP, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
That's not an instructor's voice.
What is an instructor's voice?
Jar, you here?
Yeah, I'm here.
Jar's an instructor now.
Yeah.
As long as Jar knows what his expectations are and can enforce his expectations, instantly he becomes a source of authority. He becomes an ordering force. He becomes an ordering person. He can order situations. He can put them in order, right? You do this, this is how it works. If he could do that, people will be drawn to him. People will be attracted to them. They'll be attracted to Jar because he can create order. That's what you're learning how to do now. So, for things to matter, yes, you need authority, but you have to be that person who is trained to exercise that authority. So it's not like it's not like all of a sudden you get authority and then all of a sudden you people respect you, and then by the way, you learn how to exercise it. Let me give you an example of kind of what you're talking about. Prearranged authority. Can anybody think of an example where you're not an authoritative guy, but people think of you as an authority, people are attracted to you?
Math professors.
Math professor? Okay, that's a good example. Can everybody think of a better example? A more modern example?
Scientists.
No. Cultural example. That appeals to a lot of people.
A celebrity.
Yeah, celebrity. There are all types of celebrities. There are very, authoritative celebrities, not a lot, but there are also very meek celebrities, guys who have trouble maintaining relationships. Why do they get their foot in the door, though? How are they able to start a relationship with a beautiful, hot chick?
Because of their reputation.
Social approval from people.
What do they have?
Social approval.
Yes, they have the approval of a lot of people, millions of people around the world. So that means they wield what?
Come off as attractive.
No. That means they wield what?
Come off as authoritative.
No. Listen to my sentence. That means they wield what?
Social authority.
Yes, social authority. They are wielding social authority. So because everybody agrees that this person is a celebrity and they're popular and they're deserving of some status, a girl sees that guy and goes, oh my God, this is so-and-so. He's a celebrity. He's important. I am going to automatically treat him as important. Right? She sees an authority as attractive because she assumes this guy can get social approval from other people. Girls need approval, right?
Yeah.
They need your praise. That's good for a social interaction, right? Girls need your attention, affection, praise to have to get their needs met in a social interaction. A celebrity can meet that very quickly because they are automatically given social authority, right? So now this girl starts talking to the celebrity. What does she find out about him? What does she find out about Steve Buscemi?
About what?
About Steve Buscemi, that guy who always plays the loser in Quentin Tarantino films. He's got the big bug eyes.
They find out that he has no authority.
Yeah, they find out he quickly has no authority. All of a sudden, that social authority starts wearing off. Because he has no personal authority to maintain that social authority. She thinks he's this authoritative guy. But when she starts interacting with him, she finds out he's like, Travo. Yeah, hello? I'm Steve Buscemi. Hi. Yeah. All of a sudden, he doesn't seem so important anymore. And after a while, Steve's like, hey, let's go do this thing. She's like, nah, I'm not interested. Okay, now let's just break up the relationship. So there you have an example. It's more of an unnatural example where a guy is granted social authority. But if he doesn't have the personal authority to maintain it, it's not going to last very long. Another example would be like, officials like cops, teachers, people who are granted authority. They have a certain status, a social status, already granted to them. But
That's functional.
if you have, yes, it's very functional. They need that authority. But if you have a cop who is like, please, can you please pull over? Can you please stop? Right? He's going to have a lot of problems in his job if he can't exercise personal authority. His social authority isn't going to cut it. Somebody will pull over for that red light, but if they hear, please, could you please stop breaking the law? A guy who is a seasoned criminal or a guy who is streetwise will realize, this guy's no authority. I can take advantage of him, no problem. This guy's not an issue. So he's going to have a lot of problems in his job if he doesn't have authority or he isn't trained to exercise his authority. So authority happens very quickly when you learn how to exercise it. If Travo says, and I ask Travo, hey Travo, are you there?
I'm here.
I'm here, guys. If Travo answers and he says, yes, I'm here. What do you want? What do you need from me? Then Travo suddenly becomes an authoritative person because he is meeting the demands of an authoritative person in a social interaction. Authoritative person in a social interaction, if he's meeting your needs, he needs to be clear. He needs to be definite. Is Travo clear and definite?
No.
Doesn't sound very clear, right? He sounds confused.
Not at the moment.
If I ask Travo, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. What do you need?
Yeah.
Does he sound authoritative now?
It's better than before.
Yeah, more than the first.
Okay, let me ask Travo. Let's see if we can improve Travo's authority here. Travo, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. What do you need?
Sounds a bit forced to your body.
You want back to regress.
Okay, let's try this. Let's try with some DVP. DVP, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Jar, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
How do these guys sound? What's the difference? Authoritative.
Authoritative.
It's not just a deep voice. It's how definite you are. You notice with guys when they come to class, they all sound a certain way. Like, hey, what do I do? Right? They sound like Wolfgang, very uncertain. Wolfgang, are you here?
Yes, I'm here.
See, now you sound definite. Now you sound like an authoritative guy. That is the difference between a guy who is practicing or who is wielding his authority and a guy who doesn't know how to wield his authority. The guy who knows how to wield his authority knows what his expectations are. As a guy, you should be expected to lead the social interaction, which means you need to practice taking accountability for your answers, which means even bad answers. So you shouldn't answer when I ask if I'm here.
Are you here?
Are you there?
I'm here. What do you guys need? Right? I am unsure of the answer. I don't want to be held accountable if you guys didn't want me to say that. So I'm very tentative. I usually make my statement into a question by raising my voice. Yeah, what do you want? Right? I don't know. What? What do you want? Or I could say, yes, I'm here. And that could be the wrong answer. But I know because my function as a man is to lead the social interaction, boom. I'm definite.
Oh.
Boom.
Did you
Just
get
like
that
that.
from me?
Boom.
I stole that from you, Paperclip.
Yeah. Boom, shakalaka.
Now, like, I was laughing in class when I hear people, like, answer a question, and then they're like, is this the answer? Like, they always raise their voice at the end.
You've heard a podcast or two, right? Travel's infamous for that. Travel likes to do that in class when he's answering a question. He's getting better at it. That's why I tell you guys, even if you're giving a wrong answer, I'd rather hear a definite what, Tim Will?
Definite wrong answer.
Which is, do you know the answer to the question I'm going to ask?
What's the question?
Yes. I don't know. What's the square root?
Watch out, bud.
What's the square root of 472?
But
I need a calculator.
it's 55.
I have no idea.
Quiet down. I'm asking Tim Will.
About 21.8.
I don't want to know about. What's the square root of 472?
41.8.
Are you sure?
Yes.
What's the square root of 2,472,982?
I don't know.
That's right. You don't know, but you're definite. You're okay with taking accountability for your answer. That's the difference between the guy who's authoritative and not authoritative. The guy who's authoritative knows his expectations.
Okay, I was a little bit off. 21.72.
Oh, wow.
Good for you. Irrelevant. The point is, you are training to become that guy who is definite. Zenik, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
There you go. There's an authoritative guy.
Is Zenith the guy with the,
Yin Yang.
yin yang?
Yin
Yes,
yang.
cool.
Yes.
You have a very deep voice.
All right.
The Australian guy.
Next one. Let's see here. Let's go back to our topics. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. Oz, Oz, you're in the class. Unfortunately, you can't read this.
Which was
Does
Oz?
somebody, he's a guy from Australia.
The Australian guy.
Does somebody want to be Oz and read this?
I can be Oz. I can be Oz.
Travo, you ready to be Oz?
I am ready to be Oz.
Okay, go ahead.
I don't know why I'm afraid to assert myself more. She's a submissive girl and believes women should submit to their husbands, etc. Wait, do you really have to go right now? I was going to post a conversation with a different girl and get your opinion. If you don't have the time, it's cool though.
What's the context behind this? Where did this occur?
Well, this is occurring in the chat room.
Oh, okay.
But he read it the wrong way. He was supposed to read it in the regular travel way. Wait, do you really have to go now? I was going to post a conversation with a different girl to get your opinion. All right, where are you going, man? So we have two different people. We have class clown guy, who's upside down right now. Oz, he's a class clowny guy, right? But in the chat room, now we see his true colors. This is whiny guy. So we have the mask. We have the class clown mask. He's like Torero. And then we have the real person underneath it. Do you have to really go now? I was going to post a conversation to get your opinion. No time though, that's cool.
When I talked to him in the chat room, I was honestly surprised when I first talked to him on the cam because he speaks very, very definitely.
Yes.
Yeah, he does.
He's very definite. So there's two people going on inside his head.
Yeah.
There's the chick side right here.
Split-ness.
And then there's his persona, his outward portrayal over here. It's like two different people. So you can see this is kind of like the conversations that go on in your heads. And this is kind of the reason why your voices sound a certain way. Some guys like Oz mask it, right? It doesn't sound that emasculated. Other guys, like Travel, sound very timid. Jar, when he was first speaking, sounded very timid. Who else? Wolfgang, first talking to you, sounded very timid. Tim Will, stuttering guy. Very worried about his answers. But now is able to give more definite answers. So there's different... There's two faces. The face you have that you kind of put on for the world to see, and then what's going on underneath that. Your job is to make those two faces become in sync. Those two voices, you want those to be in sync. So that what you're presenting is what you're thinking.
Cool.
Cool. Okay, so that's the one example I pulled. I just wanted to pull that because I observed that because it was even shocking to me when I first. Because when I first heard Oz, I heard his voice. I saw him on cam, we were talking, so I thought it was a certain person. And then I saw him interacting in the chat, and I realized that's why he's here.
Okay, cool.
Yes. The Manhood Academy student finally came out.
Sounds good.
Plum's rock climbing experience, bad technique because of failure. Okay. Plum fails to socialize. Alright, so I was practicing rock climbing, this rock climbing place, and I don't like to put on all the straps and the safety harnesses and all that. I just like to climb sideways on the wall, just to kind of mess around and get a little exercise. And I was climbing on the wall, and when the wall is not slanted toward you but slanted away from you. No, when the wall's slanted toward you, I'm sorry, yeah. And you're kind of hanging on the wall.
Overhang.
Yeah, overhang, where the wall's slanted more towards you.
Yeah.
And if you just stand straight, you'll fall backwards. You're supposed to hang away from the wall. You're supposed to have your arms fully extended, and you're supposed to let your body weight hang on your bones, so to speak. But I would clench in and, contract my arms so I have like little T-Rex arms, and I'm holding onto the wall and trying to stay close to it while the wall's concave. And that was using a lot of energy. So I was always like exhausted just trying to climb this little distance. And I was like, why the fuck am I so tired? All these guys are just climbing all day long. And then finally I started talking to this one guy who was a really good climber. I said, hey, how are you supposed to climb this one thing here? It wasn't even related to my climbing technique yet. I was just asking him, this rock here, or this section here, I'm having trouble climbing it. Do you know how to do this one part right here? And he said, yeah, do this. And I see him climbing, and then I'm asking a couple things, and then lo and behold, we get to climbing technique, and he says, yeah, when the wall is pointed, facing towards you, you're supposed to hang with your arms extended. I thought, what the fuck? This whole time I've been doing it the wrong way. All because I didn't socialize. I just thought, it's kind of like the students, they go, I'll just read the ebook. Like me, I'll just look at the other climbers. I'll just watch them. I got it now. No. One of the most fundamental things I didn't have, just because I didn't socialize, just kind of dawned on me. Dumb. Need to socialize at every opportunity.
You are forgiven.
So
Damn it, Plum, how dare you?
I learned the hard way. Here we go. Torero's first EM report.
Torero hasn't had an EM report this whole time. What?
I think he might have had a
And
second
you were
one.
going off on Mr. Care Bear.
This is his very first one.
Care Bear doesn't even have an expression pose.
Yeah.
He has, at least Torero has an expression pose.
Well, at least Torero doesn't punish. Torero rewards.
Oh yeah, Care Bear is an asshole, so it's okay.
Well,
Interesting
relationships
hierarchy
are,
of students. The students who punish and make you feel good, the students who don't make you feel good and don't turn any expression posts. Okay, here we go. Torero, bitch whisper, training log. Here's my first crack at an EM report. I've been acting like a timid pussy by hesitating to make my own thread. This is a text convo between a girl I've been seeing and I.
Pop this cherry.
I think it's me. Okay, who's gonna be Torero?
I'll do it.
I'll be
Well, I want to be the girl. I want to be the girl.
I'll be Terrell, and Paperclip will be the...
Tim Will,
Yeah.
you're Torero.
All right. Who's the girl?
Yeah.
Let's see here.
Travo.
Nope.
Mm.
Jar, you're the chick.
Okay.
Let's see here. Team 1 in brackets is DBP
Right.
and Wolfgang. You guys are Team 1 brackets. Travo, you're in charge of quality control. You're with Paperclip.
Oh, yeah.
And you know what? I'm gonna put also on Xenic. I'm gonna put you on Team 1 with DBP and Wolfgang.
Wolfgang.
Got it?
All right, I should probably say though that I've got a ghost here, unfortunately.
Okay,
so.
well, if you have to go, you have to go. Just go ahead and go, and you
All right.
two will be on. You'll be on their team in the meantime. All right, go ahead, Terrell.
Leave Friday night open, por favor.
Brackets say stating my expectation, and that is, yeah, that's correct. That is stating an expectation. What do you think, Paperclip?
I agree.
Okay, and what's your name?
Travo.
Xenic.
No,
Wait, I'm confused now. I thought Travo was with me.
Wait.
I'm
You're-
on the first team.
You're on the first. It's DBP, Xenic, and Wolfgang are on the first team. Travo, you're in charge of the second team. Paperclip, you shouldn't even be talking.
No, I'm with Travo.
Yeah, he's in charge of the team. You shouldn't be talking.
Wait.
What do I do?
You're gonna wait until they're done, and then he will direct you what you need to do.
Okay.
Okay, so it's you, Travo, and yeah, you and Travo are on quality control.
Okay.
All right,
Oh.
who's up?
Quality control.
Okay, yeah, I believe I agree. It's getting in my
No. You're on. Make sure everybody on your. Yeah, make sure.
Hey, I think DVP should have asked.
DVP.
Make
I
sure.
did ask Wolfgang, and I did ask Xenic, I did
No,
ask...
you didn't ask me. You asked Zena.
Oh, shit, I asked the wrong person. Okay, Wolfgang.
Yes, I
Do you
do.
agree with the same expectations?
Yes.
Okay.
You'll get through it. Don't worry. Take a deep sigh. Yo, who's quality control? Camp Travo.
Yeah. What,
Wake up.
What's going
You're in charge of double checking the brackets. Make sure they're right.
Yeah, I think they're right.
You're the last line of defense. And now make sure you check it with your team. Paperclip's on your team.
Paperclip, do you agree?
Yes, sir.
Alright, we're good.
Simple. All right, go.
Is there something grand going on that night?
In the brackets, violating my expectation and punishing by ignoring. Hold on. Wolfgang, do you agree with this?
Yes, I agree. Yes,
Hold on, I need to see if I agree with it. 'Cause I'm not sure.
You got Xenic on your team.
Oh, Xenic. Oh, he is? Okay.
Yeah, I'm still reading this too. I'm trying to figure out whether I agree with it or not as well.
Oh, he should have just said, punishing by ignoring.
Quality control. Get in there.
I don't think she's ignoring him, but hold on.
Oh, can I change my answer?
We gotta check with quality control. You already fucked up. We're waiting for quality control. Quality control.
I don't know. What do you think, Paperclip?
DVP, did you say that you want to take out the first part, which is she's validating my expectation? Is that what you said?
Yeah, I think she should take that out.
Okay. Well, then I agree with DVP. You should take out she's validating my expectation and just leave punishing me by ignoring.
Punishing by ignoring. So you guys want to say punishing by ignoring.
Yeah.
No, I don't want to say that.
All right, let's go back to first team. What happened now?
Okay, the first...
Make sure you guys explain your answer if there's a controversy.
Okay, it should be punishing by rejection. Because... Well, look at it.
Well, look at it isn't an adequate answer.
Well, it's the same thing, though. Ignoring and rejection is the same.
Well, ignoring, she's not really ignoring it. If she was ignoring it, she wouldn't really acknowledge it at all. Here, she is acknowledging it, she's just rejecting it. That's a slight difference.
Yeah, she's not really ignoring it. Otherwise, she wouldn't even answer the question. She wouldn't ask what's going on.
Yeah.
So he's saying that she's ignoring the fact that he wants her to say, yes, I'll leave it open. So,
Yeah.
this is a toughie. Let's see. Punishing
Well,
by
she's ignoring
ignoring.
his request by asking him what they're gonna do.
But she's rejecting it too.
Leave
Also,
Friday
yeah,
night
no.
open.
Yeah, he didn't say no.
It's not.
By
It's not.
ignoring, you are rejecting.
He's kind of. It's almost like his expectation isn't. Let me see. It's not that it's not
His
clear.
expectation is to hang out with the
I
girl,
think it's
but now this
punishing
girl's like,
by
what are you
ridicule,
gonna do?
actually.
Well, here's the
Something
thing.
grand
He's
going on
expecting-
that night, just the way she says it.
He's expecting her to say yes, I want to hang out on Friday, but she doesn't know what that she can't ask like, is there something going on that night? So, yes, she should be answering that expectation and saying, yeah, I want to hang out with you. But he doesn't have enough authority to pull that off. He's been very passive in this relationship. I read ahead here, so I'm doing a little paraphrase.
Cheater.
Little cheater paraphrase. But she is ignoring because his expectation is leave Friday night open, por favor. So he's saying, my expectation is for you to leave Friday night open. You should answer that. So I'm going to say, I'll go with either rejecting or ignoring. It's a little tough call, but yeah, she's still acknowledging. Is there something going on that night? Right? She's saying, why should I be interested? So in a sense, I wouldn't say in a sense. I would say, yeah, she is ignoring.
Yeah, we were right, DVP.
Yep.
I just thought about what the whole report. I just realized that Terrell's problem with this girl in the first place was that I guess they're F buddies, they're fuck buddies, and he doesn't really have enough authority to begin with. So, like, if I told a girl that I'm seeing leave Friday night open, I would establish beforehand if I thought she was ignoring me. I wouldn't let things slide right off the bat. So there would be a precedent that I expect an answer, whereas he hasn't set that precedent yet. That's why she's ignoring him. So I'll give you a perfect for instance. In a relationship I'm in, sometimes I tell a girl, I like your eyes, or I like kissing, or something like that, right? And she'll say, oh, what did you do today? Because she's shy about responding back. And I'll say, I didn't ask, what did I say? I didn't ask about how my day was. Or I didn't say how my day was. Or I will just completely ignore her. Basically I'm punishing her. I'm saying, no, I didn't say anything about that. I didn't say anything about that. And then she knows, oh, I know, but I'm just shy. I'm about sharing my feelings. So she knows that she's done something wrong. I'm not answering her. I'm not saying, oh, here's what I did today. Because now I'm ignoring, if I did that, I'm ignoring my expectation. My expectation is for her to respond. Granted, I'm not stating my expectation directly. I'm not saying, I like your eyes. Now I want you to tell me how you feel about me or something else, right? I'm not stating my expectation clearly. But I am punishing, so that indicates I do have an expectation that's being violated. So I'm very clear, at least she's clear about that, even though I'm not being clear about my expectation. So I'll say, like, I like your eyes, right? Romantic moment. And she says, oh, what did you do today? I say, I didn't say I wanted to talk about that. Right? And she knows, oh, I did something wrong, right? My tone, what I'm saying, I'm scolding, objecting, disagreeing, whatever you want to call it. I'm punishing her, essentially. So, the same way, you see how, what Terrell does, leave Friday night open, he expects an answer. Whereas she's giving him the answer he doesn't want. So instead of punishing, what does Terrell do? We'll go right on to that now. Next one, Terrell.
Let's go right on to it.
Terrell, you're up.
Breaking Bad Marathon. Catch up on Walt's plight and witness Jesse's transformation. You have so much to catch up on. Notice my use of exclamation points to foreshadow exciting times to come.
Okay, the brackets say, failed to punish her for ignoring my expectation. This is completely wrong. It should be inappropriate justification. Wolfgang, do you agree or disagree?
I agree.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree too. Inappropriate.
Wait. We forgot. Oh, Xenix's gone. Go ahead.
Okay, Paperslip, what do you think?
I think he's sharing, or he's trying to convey his personal experience with her.
No, he's justifying his expectation.
Well, the problem is, I don't see enough incentive for her to want to hang out with him. So right now, when I read this sentence, I see that he's now trying to convey himself in order to give her enough positive incentive to want to hang out with him.
So it's an appropriate justification, is what you're saying.
Here's a problem. Look, here's a problem. You guys are both. I don't want to say you're both right, but here's the issue here. Terrell is a funny guy. He's probably since he's saying this line already, he's probably already conveying himself in a funny way. So the issue isn't really. I don't think the issue is really jokes here. Again, you could see he has an expectation. Leave Friday night open. He expects an answer. she's violating it. He indicates she's violating it. And what does he do when his expectation is violated? He says it right there in the brackets.
Failed to punish her.
Right? So, again, so that goes under, he shouldn't put fail to punish, but he should put inappropriate justification, right? He's justifying himself. He's
Yeah, but
reasoning with
he
her.
punishes her without giving her enough positive incentive that he's killing the
Exactly.
the relationship
Well,
he's trying to
look at.
Yeah.
He's already
fucked up.
He's already
Don't
fucked
go
up, but
through
the
it.
point is, it's not clear because we don't have the full picture, but I'm just going to say this. Terrell, I'm going to assume that he's already stimulating her. But he's not. This tells me right here, he's saying she's violating my expectation, and then he's laughing it off like a clown. He's just saying, oh, look, it's going to be, so he's telling a funny joke when he himself says he failed to punish her. So we already know he has an expectation that's violated, and he himself admitted his expectation wasn't met. So the real problem here is not enforcing his expectation, not that he's not stimulating her enough to want to meet the expectation.
Yeah, but then if for someone like I'm just reading this right now, and I would have had no idea that he was.
Well, right. If
giving
we were
her
just
positive
reading it at
incentives.
face value, he hasn't even said any. He hasn't. There's no reason for her to even answer this. So if you just said leave Friday night open, and you're assuming it's a stranger, it doesn't make sense anyway. Why would he say leave Friday night open? So we have to assume that a relationship is there. And already he says later on, I think this is a fuck buddy. So we got to assume that at least she's attracted enough where he's stimulated enough where they're fucking. So at the very least, there's that. But now there's a relationship developing that isn't developing because Terrell's not leading the relationship. So that's the main issue here. If he's attractive enough where she's or he's stimulating her enough where now she's turned on, now she's open, she's attracted enough to have sex. Now the issue then is, are you leading the relationship? Are you doing what's necessary to lead the relationship? Obviously not here, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yes, strictly speaking, the tough thing is that because students are so incompetent when they fill out these reports, they expect you to mind read where they're at. Like, is this a new girl? Is this a fuck buddy? Is this a long-term relationship? Are you best friends? Students always expect you to mind read this shit. They should be, that's why I always tell you, be explicit as possible. I'm not a mind reader. I'm not going to give you advice based on your situation because most likely you're incompetently explaining your situation. So I have to just advise you based on the principles. I have to give you the principle of make sure you're stimulating her, and if that's not the issue, make sure you're leading the relationship. Leading the relationship means managing violations of your expectations. So it's either one or the other. Either you're not giving her enough stimulation, like with you, Paperclip, if you just met a girl and she's not stimulated enough to respond, then you're not, the issue isn't you're not, enforcing expectations, but you're not stimulating her enough. Just saying you want to go out with her, meet her for coffee is not stimulating. It's great. It's a stimulating in a sense that you were able to lead her and ask her that, but it's not ultimately stimulating for a social interaction for a relationship.
So leading a relationship consists of managing my expectations and conveying my experiences.
Yes.
Okay.
It's all part of the ebook. This is the expression section and the expectation management section. They're big sections.
Cool.
So it's not just
if it was a girl he just met, that would have been okay.
What's that?
But if it was a girl he just met, that would have been okay.
Yeah, it would have been a different story because
more,
he doesn't have enough incentive to go, or she doesn't have enough emotional investment if he just met this girl to go, leave this open. And then she says, well, what are we doing tonight? And he goes, fuck you, I told you to answer my question. They just met. She's not emotionally invested in him. They haven't had sex. There's no attachment yet. So he doesn't have enough of her emotional investment. He hasn't given her enough incentive to meet his expectations. So at that point, it'd be unreasonable.
Okay.
At this point, they're already fucking. So now it's coming down to him mismanaging his expectations.
Okay.
So in this case, it's not warranted.
I see. So if he doesn't do it now, he'll never do it.
Yeah, it's like, how long is it going to drag on where she just keeps, he just keeps justifying himself, keeps letting her violate his expectations. Eventually she's just going to be like, oh, this is an optional guy. This isn't a guy I need. This is a guy who's an option for me. He's a nice guy to me. He stimulates me. He's a clown. He's Terrell. He makes me laugh. But ultimately, if he can't lead me, she's going to lose attraction. There's relationships where guys are super sweet to the girl, high school sweethearts. Oh, everything's fine. Woo, I love you. Right? But then later on down the road, oh, irreconcilable differences. Or, I just fell out of love with him.
Yeah, I've been there.
You know what happened? You know why she fell out of love? No boundaries. Love can't survive without a boundary. If you can't lead, you can't fulfill your function as a man, which is to lead the relationship, to tell her, do this and don't do this. If you can't do that, relationship is eroding slowly. You just don't realize it because it's happening slowly. There'll be like fights. Oh, we just get into fights. Why do you get into fights? Tell me why you get in a fight.
Not managing your expectations.
Yes. Why do you get
agree
into
with
fights?
He's right.
Yeah, he's very general. Why do you get into fights?
Oh, you don't.
You're not punishing. You're trying to reason with her.
Yeah, you're trying to reason with her, right? What's fighting? Arguing, right? Going back and forth. Well, it should be done this way. No, it should be done this way. It should be done this way. No, this way. That's arguing.
Yeah.
Does a parent argue with a child? Come on, go to bed. No, I don't want to go to bed. You should go to bed because you're going to be sleepy in the morning. No, I don't want to go. I just want to watch 5 more minutes. No, you can't. You watched it 10 minutes last night. No, I don't want to go to bed. You're mean to me. I'm not trying to be mean to you, right? Oh, fuck. I got kicked out of my own class. Motherfucker, hold on. Going back. Orientation. Class. Joining. Oops. Copy link address. Close. Boop. Boop. Control V. Boop. Yay! I'm coming back to class. Motherfucker. Here I come to save the day. Coming back to class is the professor.
Yeah.
Oh, hello.
Yeah, it happens.
Fucking Google
Well,
Plus.
we had a minute of silence when you were gone.
Woo! I forget that every time you don't answer,
Everybody talking.
every time you don't answer, Google like asks you, "Are you still there? Are you still there?"
Yeah, ask me that.
So fucking annoying.
Yeah.
Okay, so where were we? We're discussing the relationship. Okay, so if you're, what was my last point? Anybody remember the last point?
Boundaries or attractions in the face, something like that.
Okay, so if we don't have the boundary,
If you don't if a girl's attracted to you at first and you don't set boundaries, she's going to lose her attraction to you slowly.
right? Because just like a parent is not going to, go back and forth with a child and argue with a child about the bedtime, that child, if that parent keeps arguing with that child is going to know, they're going to realize in the back of their head, oh, I can get away with things. I can get away with this. I can get away with that. That's what happens in a relationship with a girl. She realizes, oh, I can get away with this. If you have a joint spending account, oh, I could spend your money. Or if I can hang out with these guys, I can get into these problems, right? She realizes that you are not meeting her social need. You are not making her happy because you are not setting boundaries. Do you realize a girl will not be happy if you don't tell her no? It's counterintuitive, right? You tell a girl no, what's the first thing she's going to say? You tell her no.
I do what I want. It's my fun.
I hate you. You're mean to me. You're mean to me, right?
Yep.
But guess what? If you don't set that boundary, she's going to say, oh, you're a really nice guy, but I just am not into you anymore.
Let's just be friends.
So what do you want to hear? You're mean to me? Or let's just be friends. You're a nice guy. You're not mean to me, but I'm just not into you. Which would you rather hear?
You'd make a
Probably
great
the first one.
friend.
I tell you what I don't want to hear.
I don't want to be forever friends.
You don't want to hear either. You don't want to hear, let's just be friends. And then you don't want to hear, you're mean. You'll just
I'm
not
afraid of
decide.
you.
You
Yeah,
want to avoid.
I don't know what you're talking about,
Opening
Professor Plum.
it's like if you're finally reaching the goal of submission.
Yes.
I just rather like
Yeah.
it's
You
like
don't know.
you're
You don't
having
want to. You don't want to get. You don't know. You don't. Let's see. You don't want to hear you're mean to me because you don't know what's on the other side of that hump. You don't realize that after you're mean to me and you stick to your guns and say no, this is the way it goes. Stop acting like a child. It's not I'm being mean. It's stop acting like a bitch. She's gonna keep saying stop. You're mean. You're mean. And instead of going no, I'm not mean. I'm really nice. Instead of that bullshit where you keep arguing with her, you say. We focus on your behavior. You're acting like a bitch. You're acting like a child, etc. So we keep focusing on you. And then eventually, instead of stop being mean, becomes, I'm sorry. I'll stop acting like a bitch. I'll change this behavior, etc. So
I just rather
then,
beat off.
what?
Jar said he'd just rather beat off. That was awesome.
Great. John would rather beat off than face this fear. But
Face
because
the
Jar
girl,
doesn't realize
right?
what's around the corner. Then, when that girl...
Yeah, you're almost there
when she submits,
impressive.
then she's like, I love you. And when she says that,
Right.
it's deeply. The girl today was telling me, I was getting so wet thinking about you fucking me. Well, why did she get so wet thinking about me fucking her? Because of what, Jar? Because I said, I don't want to be mean.
Because you put limitations on her.
Yes, I said boundaries. That's why she is so super duper attracted. This is what nice guys don't get to realize. They don't realize what's around the bend. The ultimate expression of being nice is being functional. Being nice is not giving you a bowl of candy. Being nice is having the foresight to go, a bowl of candy is bad for you. You know, if I'm nice to my friends, I don't give them, let's say this one friend, he's like a fatty, right? If I'm nice to him and I have pizza, I don't give him my extra pizza. Why don't I do that? Even though I know he'd love the pizza. Why don't I do that if I'm a nice guy?
You don't have to be fat.
Yeah, I'm nice, so I'm thinking about his health. Right? The ultimate niceness is to be functional with him, is to think of his best interest, not what is going to make his taste buds feel good.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of times you guys think you're nice. You just want to make the girls' taste buds feel good. You don't care about their overall health because you don't have enough foresight to realize that the boundary is necessary for them. If they don't have the boundary, you're actually making them worse.
I say being nice is just an excuse. We just don't want confrontation.
Yes, that's true. It's just like a parent. You want the child to always say, I love you, I love you, I love you. But you don't realize you have to make the tough choices for the best interest of the kid. If you keep giving that kid chocolate cake just because they say, oh, you're mean to me, and you're such a puss that you don't want to be thought of as a mean dad, so instead of being a mean dad, you're going to give him the chocolate cake. You're going to make that kid suffer just so you won't have to feel bad. In the long run, that kid's going to have cavities, bad health, all because of you, just because you don't want to feel bad. You don't want the confrontation with the kid.
So a nice guy is really an asshole.
Yeah, he is really an asshole.
Yeah.
That's why I have no problems telling nice guys they're assholes, because they're only nice on the surface. They're only nice in the immediate sense, where they give you what you want. That's what they think is nice. That's not nice. That's stupid. That's short-sighted. So, when you talk about nice guys, if you're leading a relationship, you're the ultimate nice guy. You're the nice guy.
You're the real nice guy.
Yeah, you're the real nice guy.
I'm the nicest guy.
You're the real deal.
When I punish Boggles, I'm being a nice guy. If I don't punish Boggles, I'm being a bad guy. It's your perspective. It's really your perspective. Your perspective right now is nice is equal make you happy. Immediately make you happy. My perspective is nice is doing something that benefits you ultimately. We just have different views of nice. That's why I don't use nice. I don't use emotional language like mean or nice. I don't say to guys, oh, you're mean to me. Or you're a really nice guy. I don't say that to guys. It's irrelevant to me.
Cool.
Cool. Well, every now and then I like to get a pause to get the student response. Cool.
Well, it's alright, but you get the pause because for me it's like it's really settling in.
I didn't hear your last statement. It was like just a T-Pain.
I like to be like a walking fortune cookie so everybody's stunned into silence.
Well, that's what you did to me, so...
I just say cool because I think you're expecting a reply from the students, but then no one answers, so I'm like, alright, I'll just say cool.
I'm just waiting for all this to sink in.
I like to be so overwhelming that you guys are just exasperated. Okay. Let's cover one more.
No, we didn't finish this.
We're not done with this
Oh,
yet.
fuck. Okay, we gotta finish this. We're done. We're over. Let's do it.
Okay.
Girl, you're up.
It's me, isn't me? Okay.
Girl, hit it.
Well, yes. I see all the exclamations. Let's just hope you meet all the excitement I now expect. I should be free.
The brackets say rewards my initial expectation with agreement. This is a tough one because technically she is meeting his expectations.
We're gonna look at it from a perspective of a long-term relationship, so we don't have to jump back and forth.
Well, okay, then yeah, she's punishing him. She's punishing him by not meeting his expectation. So punishing by what the fuck? Damn it. Punishing by rejection.
Who's on your team?
Can you scroll down a bit, please?
Oh,
I can't
sorry.
see the
Who's on your team,
conversation.
DVP?
Wolfgang. You agree? And he's
Gone.
gone.
Oh, he's gone. Who's next? Quality control.
Quality control is here.
Trap.
Alright. Yeah, that looks like punishing to me, but I don't know what I would replace it with.
Typing guy, shut up. Motherfucker.
Stop writing messages.
I think he can't talk.
Yeah, no kidding. Well, let me mute this guy. Alright. Hit it.
So what was your response, Trevor?
Travel, sorry, go ahead.
I said that... What did I say? Hold on.
Yeah, I'm back. Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Yeah.
What did you want? What did you say? Travel's still thinking. Give us your answer, Wolfgang. Wolfgang.
No, we lost him again.
Motherfucker. Travo, what's your answer?
I disagree with what's in the brackets because she's like let's just hope you meet all the excitement that I now expect. So she's like putting in her own expectation, and I don't know if that's punishment or it seems like a form of punishment to me.
What did you say?
I don't know which one.
What did you say, Travo?
I said, like, see how she's saying, let's just hope you meet all the excitement that I now expect. That seems like she's ignoring his expectation and putting in her own, which is punishment by rejection or something.
Or something. Why don't you check with your team, Travo, instead of stalling?
Paperclip, what do you think?
Okay, I agree with DVP in regards that she's punishing by rejection, because she's saying, where is it? Oh, okay, let's just hope we meet all the excitement and not expect. What the hell? It's like, it should be a yes or no answer. And then she says, like, I should be free. Well, what do you mean I should be free? It's either you're free or you're not. And by her giving a half-ass answer, that just shows you that she doesn't really care about, she doesn't really care about, or she doesn't really know whether she wants to go or not. So she's not meeting his expectation with just a definite yes or no answer.
Wolfgang?
Yes, I agree with him. And when she said I should be, like, she's just leaving like her like options to do something else, and then she could say, oh, like I said, I could be, like, it wasn't sure that I didn't say that I was going to come, so
yeah,
just like giving herself options, see if she can do something better than that. So she is punishing him.
Oh, yes, I see all the exclamations. Let's just hope you meet all the excitement I now expect. Should be free. You guys say punishing by what?
Rejection.
Punishing by rejection.
This is a tough one.
I disagree.
Well, she's not directly rejecting him, but it's just the way she says it, like, yes, I see all the exclamation. Let's just hope you meet all the excitement I now expect.
Yeah, but I would take this as, because she's lolling, I would take it like, girls are trying to be tough and flirty. Yes, I see all the exclamations. Let's just hope you meet all my excitement I now expect. So she's expecting excitement. She's making it like, I'm the princess. I should be free. She tells him she's free. I don't see how that's rejection.
But I said I should be. It's not saying that. That's being, like, indefinite.
But it's not. What do you expect? Well, I guess if you expect her to say, "I will be free at 7:45 a.m." or an exact time. But this is a girl. She doesn't want to. She doesn't want to appear too eager.
Yeah.
But again, we're looking at it from the point of a relationship, not a new girl that you just met 2 minutes ago.
Oh, a new relationship. Okay, then yeah, this is.
Wait, what? I thought this was a girl.
Pay attention. We're looking at this from the standpoint of an established relationship already, not a new girl you met off the street.
Okay. Still, I would still expect the girl to not say that. I would expect her to say, yes, yeah, I'm free, or, no, I'm not free. Not like, oh, maybe.
Well, then you have to give her that expectation. And she's not saying maybe, she's saying in girl ease, yes, I'll meet you at that time. I should be free. Yes, I'll let's hope you meet all my expectations or excitement I now expect. Just flirting back with him.
Okay. So that's okay?
She's not being very direct. She's not being, like, militant like you expect. I remember you used to expect girls to be there at, like, 9:13, not 9:14.
No comment.
No comment. Torero!
Perfect. See you Friday night. Don't do any cocaine before you come. Increased heart rate it causes, coupled with the excitement you experience as you get engrossed in the storyline, could cause a heart attack.
Okay, Clowny Torero. All right. In hindsight, if it had been more direct and clear in stating my initial expectation, she wouldn't have had to ignore my expectation and ask what was going on that night. Something like this. Example.
Leave Friday night open, por favor. Breaking Bad marathon my place. Catch up on Walt's plight and witness Jesse's transformation.
Okay, we got the point. Is that the issue then? So let me ask you then, is this the issue, Tim Will? In hindsight, if I had been more direct and clear in stating my initial expectation, she wouldn't have had to ignore my expectation and ask what was going on that night.
Well, as I was reading it, I first thought that he didn't provide enough incentive first.
Okay.
And that was my initial hypothesis about it.
Right. Yes, Professor?
I like your choice of words.
And then?
Reading, listening to all the others, and seeing that, okay, now it's a relationship. I probably would have said that something like this example probably would have been better to start off.
Okay. So
Because,
you agree with his assessment that if he had just been clear with his expectation, he wouldn't have this whole issue of violating his
right.
His
right.
his expectation. If he had been
Right.
clear, she wouldn't have violated it.
It wasn't that clear. to begin with.
Okay. Anybody? Any other opinions?
I disagree with that.
I disagree.
Jar.
I disagree also.
Damn.
The problem was he didn't punish her when she violated his expectation. And the example he just made, it doesn't make his expectation any clearer. It just, the problem was he didn't punish her. That's all it is.
Yeah, I
It's
agree.
clear enough to begin with. He just failed to punish. If this is a
Yeah.
long-term relationship, that's all you do.
Wolfgang?
Yeah, I believe
Yeah, I
I believe he never set a precedent of punishment. So she never, and he never punished at this time. I don't believe he ever punished in a relationship.
Travo?
Yeah, I agree with that. He should have punished her.
Yeah.
Like, I agree the
I
first.
agree. That he should have punished her. Yeah.
I agree his first statement was pretty clear, and like if they're in a relationship, then he should have just punished her for not meeting his expectations.
You want to give that answer again, but not like that you were floating away into the air. And see you later, Travo. Bye.
I feel like I'm not.
Travo, it's the wrong answer. Now answer it again.
Okay. No, I forgot what I was gonna say. Damn it.
The exact same thing you just said.
My head is like.
Oh no, Travo! Something about punishing her.
Oh yeah, I think he clearly stated his first expectation in the first statement correct, and that he should have punished her after she did not meet his expectation.
Is that your answer?
Yes.
You're right. I lied. That was the correct answer.
Oh.
Woo!
No, it's tricky.
Yes.
Professor Punt throwing tricks at people.
Yes, I threw some tricks out there. I threw some tripwires. I threw some grenades out there. Yes. The problem here is not Tim needing to state his expectation more clearly. This is what Torero thinks. If I had just said this and this and this, it would have been no problem, right? Leave Friday night open is good enough.
Yeah.
He didn't even need to say por favor. Just say leave Friday night open.
Por favor.
Or
I
we're
know
going,
Spanish.
or we're
I know
going
Spanish
here,
to
por
a
favor.
sentence.
Or I want you to come over Friday night. That's it. And if the relationship's established, well, then that means you've already established the groundwork that you're in charge. But the problem here is obviously that he's not in charge of the relationship. He talks about his own expectation being violated. And now how does he respond to his expectation being violated? How does he respond to that, Travo? What does he do?
He reasons with her.
Yeah. What is what is Torero's typical response?
I don't know.
Who are you
The,
asking?
the clowny approach.
Yeah, the clowny approach. I'm Terrell. Let me tell you a joke, right? This is how I get my expectations, man. I just throw in some humor.
Clown around.
I clown around, you like
Clown
me,
around.
and then you meet my expectations, right? How long do you think that's gonna work? What if I don't like clowns that day? What if I'm allergic to clowns that day? What if I had a bad day at the circus? Well, guess what? I'm not listening to any clowns that day.
That sucks.
Sucks for
Terrell
Terrell,
turned
right?
into a sad
If I'm
clown.
allergic to the circus, it sucks for Terrell that day.
Torero the sad clown.
Sad clown, right? Sad clown. Sometimes it's a happy clown, sometimes it's a sad clown. Okay, any issues you want to talk about at the academy?
Any issues?
Yeah,
Oh, I
so
had
guys-
one, and I was...
You guys should
Check
always
that.
bring your EM reports because you guys are in class, so you guys have first access. If you want to ask me any questions
Oh,
about the
I
academy,
have a
or anything,
question.
you guys should go ahead and speak up because this is your opportunity. You made it into class. This is what it's for. So we don't have to cover all these things. It's just that I would like to cover all these things. Eventually,
Okay.
they will touch on your issues, guaranteed, because we talk about EM and expression, which covers pretty much your own issues. But if you want to get more personal, you can always volunteer your EM report, your expression post, or any issue you want to talk about at the academy.
Yeah, I have an issue.
Yes.
I've been posting in my expression post asking questions to you, and I haven't received any responses.
Well, let me see. Have I checked your expression post for a while? Maybe not. I bet you have a lot of red dots in there. Let's check. Doo-doo-doo. Honing your expression.
Oh, Dean's office.
Oh, Dean's office.
I know, I saw it last time too.
Everybody sees the Dean's office. Like, oh, what's in there?
I get excited when I see cookies and
Can you
milk.
please take us inside to the dean's
I'll
office?
take in the Dean's office. Hold on a second. Let's look here. Let's see. Where is paperclip?
I'm
Paperclip.
not there.
Second
Oh,
page?
next page. Dang, Professor. I feel left behind.
I know. I must have read your post. Okay, let's see what I ignored.
There I am.
Let's
Oh,
see
yeah.
what I ignored here. Okay, where are we? Down to the bottom.
It's where I talk about how whether it's appropriate to share like sad experiences or something along those lines.
Okay,
It might be on page 35.
35? Alright. I left the reader asking, why does a person think he's boring or cool?
Paperclip, you have fun roll in your signature.
Hell yeah, dude. Thank you.
Good reminder.
Notice that now.
Good reminder. Okay. Tell me when.
Okay, keep going, keep going. Okay, stop. Oh no, keep going down. Stop.
Okay.
Okay, scroll down, please. Right, okay, I think this is, oh no, wait, hold on. My thing is gonna kick me out, not anymore. Okay, I think it's this one.
Want it all.
No,
Don't
keep
leave
going.
these huge gaps here. See this?
Yeah.
Don't leave these huge gaps here. You use the HR. The HR button puts a line in between this one and that one. So if you need to switch topics for some reason, just put the line in there. You don't need to leave these huge gaps in there.
Okay, keep scrolling down.
That's it. We're at the bottom of 35.
Then it must be my expectation management thread.
Any other
Here,
side
I'll help
issues while we're on the way there to the expectation
Yeah,
management
I'll help
section?
you look for it.
Anybody have any side issues while we're on the way to?
I did have a question.
Yes.
Thank you, guy. Oh, go ahead, Will.
Okay, thanks. I was just wondering, like how's my oral expression and how I can improve it? Because I can't really hear myself when I speak, so I can't really say, oh, I was indefinite enough, or I don't have enough expression in my voice. I don't really know where to
Well, you don't say I have enough
record
expression
myself.
in your voice. Everything you do is expressing something.
I wouldn't say tone or something.
Okay. Anybody have any suggestions?
I got a suggestion.
Yes.
To the podcast.
Like, Wolfgang, come and practice more when we're doing expression stuff. Then you'll get much more feedback. If you come to other classes where we're doing expression
Participate
practice,
at the academy is what Jar is
yes,
trying to say. Come to class where we'll make you practice. Talk to other students. Students hold impromptu hangouts all the time. There's a bunch of hangouts I just was witness to a couple this week where students just say, even after class, after I click out of here, you guys can still talk to each other. This is perfect time to practice. Perfect time to ask other students, hey, how's my expression? This is where you get the feedback. This is the whole point of having the classroom experience. This is the whole point of having all these resources here. For 4 years, you've had all these resources. You have all this ore in your backyard, and you never bothered to dig in your backyard. Now, it's time to get out your shovel.
Oh, I found it.
Uh-oh.
I found my question.
Where is it?
Okay, it's page 35.
Just post a link in here. I'll click on it.
Okay. I found it.
I have a question after you.
Go ahead.
Paper.
Oops.
Okay, and it's the second post. Once you get to the second post, it will be the third paragraph.
Paste. All right. Let's see what's going on here. Okay, is it going there? Come on. Am I here? Alex, why is it still in the same place?
Scroll down.
This is honing your expression. This isn't the...
Yeah.
Oh, it is? Okay.
You're in the right place.
All right, where to?
And it's the second post, third paragraph. That one, yeah,
Second
third
post?
paragraph.
Right here?
Nope, you just passed it.
Right here?
Yeah, that one with the video, and it's the third paragraph in the post. No, scroll up.
This is the second post right here. 1, 2.
No,
Here's the
there,
third paragraph.
stop,
1, 2, 3. There's
Yeah,
the third
that one.
paragraph.
Second post, you're there, and third paragraph.
I want to continue my rant about the boring radio
that
music, but I think that my complaining is annoying to listen to. I mean, I would think that I prefer hearing a guy talk about how great life is all the time rather than complain about every little thing he doesn't like. Well, that's what I learned from my mom. Every time I complain about something, she says that I should talk about something I like so she can stop hearing my complaints. Because of that, I think hearing other people's complaints is depressing and something to avoid at all costs, to not turn people away from you. I hope that my way of thinking is wrong, because I think I complain much more than talk about what I like about life. If I have to censor myself when I talk, then I would hardly ever talk. Who knows? Maybe I'm just like this for now, until I obtain my manhood and my life becomes better. Therefore, this should be a crucial phrase for me to develop myself, or a crucial phase for me to develop myself into a man I want to be. By censoring my real thoughts that run through my mind, I might be hurting myself more than helping myself. Where's the question?
Yeah, my question is it okay to talk about, the sad parts of my life, or is that inappropriate?
Students?
I think that talking putting a burden on people like that, sad moments, it should come with understanding that you probably have some emotional investment in it to begin with. I think that it could really help, but I think that because I know that people that, they come straight up to me or whatever, first time I've ever met them, and they start pouring sad things and so on to me, and it's I don't really care, and I guess I kind of feel uncomfortable being put in that spot with them. Yes, they're candid about, something sad that's happened in their life.
But how's your relationship with that person sharing that thing?
It's not good at the beginning, exactly. It's terrible, because I don't know this guy.
Okay, so there you go. So if somebody had that same sad event that person made you comfortable with, but it was me sharing it with you, would it be any different?
Of course.
Well, you just say, of course, like it's obvious. It's not obvious to paper.
Well, it's because I care more about you, and I care then about negative things in your life and how they affect you. So I don't know why I can make it. I don't know why I can't make it more clear. It just seems simple, and that kind of pisses me off because I should be able to.
Yeah, you're pissing Paperclip off. He wants an answer.
Yes.
He wants to know. Paper wants to know.
Answer, Brad.
He wants to know when he can share sad things, or
I think
if he's
I'm
allowed to. He thinks he's not allowed to share sad things with you, Jar.
Share sad things when you have emotional investment with them, when they care about you.
Well, I mean, sharing sad things is really like a demand. When you think
Yeah,
about
that's
it,
what-
I've had
It
people
is
come up
demand.
to
So
me and
when
share
can you get a demand met?
sad things to me, and then I feel like they're kind of like demanding me to sympathize with them.
Okay.
And I don't want to do that with somebody that I don't know. Like, when somebody comes up to me that I don't know and they try to tell me these sad things, the first thing I want to do is get the fuck out of the conversation. But because I can't. I feel like I'm being trapped. I can't just, this guy's having a horrible, shitty day. I don't just want to stomp all over him and say, fuck you, I want to go.
It feels like he's kind of like almost forcing you into like forming a relationship with him when you don't really care at the beginning. Like you don't have any reason to. Yeah, exactly.
Does it answer your question, Paper, or not yet?
No.
So what's your question? Is are you allowed to share sad things?
Yeah, as long as you're expressing yourself, is it okay to share about that?
Well, didn't you just hear it? What if you went up to who do you have a bad relationship with here in the class right now?
Wagner.
Who's in the class right here who you have a bad relationship with?
Me, a bad relationship with?
Yes.
No, nobody.
Do you have a good relationship with Tim Will?
Huh?
Do you have a good relationship with Tim Will?
No, but it's
Okay,
not a bad
you got a bad relationship with Tim Will then.
Oh, okay.
You gotta be kidding me.
Tim,
Yeah,
you got a good relationship with Paperclip?
it's actually pretty good.
No, you got a bad relationship with Paperclip. He doesn't even know you. He just said he didn't know you. It's not a good relationship. And you said it was a good relationship. So obviously you guys are on different pages. If there's confusion, it's a bad relationship. You guys have a bad relationship. You guys are on different pages. Now, if he was going to share sad things with you, how good would that be? Did you like that? You looking forward to that, Tim Will?
No.
Why not?
You just said it was a bad relationship.
Well, there you go. So when could he share sad things with you? Could I share sad things with you? Tim Will?
Yeah.
Why?
Oh, we have a different kind of relationship.
We have a different kind of relationship?
It's
What's
more
our
of a
relationship?
teacher-student. It's more of a teacher-student.
How's our relationship?
Okay.
How's our relationship? Come on, Smokey, answer. How's our relationship?
I don't know.
If you don't know, it's not that good.
Looks like you got some work, Plum.
Yeah, so we shouldn't be sharing things, right, that are sad with each other. That's a demand on each other, right? What's the point?
Tim, did you just have a bad day today or something? You're really off your ball today.
I don't even know why he's saying fuck. Every now and then he has like these stressful moments. He goes, fuck, and I don't even know where the stress is coming from. I don't even know it's a stressful question for him.
You need to light up again.
It's 12 o'clock. It's midnight. It's late.
12 o'clock in the morning.
The funny thing is that you feel so much demand from the question, and to me it feels like a conversation. To you it's like a military academy question. To me it's like asking you to pass the butter. So we're like on totally different pages. So when do you think it's appropriate to share sad things?
When she has enough positive incentive.
I don't know. Maybe you need to ask more students because your relationship is terrible with students at the academy.
Wait, what?
Your
Answer your
relationship is terrible with students at the academy. To get the answer to your question, you need to contact the students.
Yeah.
You have so many questions that can be answered by other students, but your relationships with the other students are fail.
Yeah.
Do you realize you will learn how to rock climb if you ask the rock climbing instructor how to rock climb?
Yeah.
No, you don't. Why don't you go ask him? Tim's a rock climbing instructor. He knows how to rock climb.
But I do want to make a comment regarding this.
Yes.
I mean, if you're sharing like sad things, but you're expressing yourself, your person, but it's something do something sad, like a sad experience, isn't that like still a incentive? Like you're still expressing yourself, even though it's
Well, there's some sad expression posts, aren't there?
Yeah, yeah.
Are you talking about conversationally paperclip or in your expression post?
Say that again.
I'm going to end the class on this note. What you guys need to do to answer this question is to talk to the other students. The thing that you don't do. You guys are trying to make soup without any water. Okay? To make soup, you need water. That's the only analogy I'm going to give you. The students are water. Go make some student soup.
Okay.
Wait, I got one more thing.
Yes.
I was talking to DBP. We want report cards again. We
You
love
want
those.
report cards?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
I was thinking about an exam.
Time.
I was thinking about exam time. I wanted to give you guys like a final. So let's plan for an exam. How about let's do let's do an exam. Why not? We'll make it. We'll make a midterm. Let's see. We'll make it. Let's see. What's the date of our midterm? What's a good date? We got to give you guys some prep time.
Don't put it on one of my actual midterms, please.
Yeah, please don't.
Let's make it like let's see. February, March, January, February, March, April, May.
April 22nd, my birthday. Do it.
Let's make it May. Let's make it more festive and sunny. Okay, so we'll have a grand midterm in May. Why don't you put an announcement, and I'll make an announcement in the orientation section. We'll have a grand midterm, and it'll cover everything in the ebook, everything in the forum, etc.
Oh,
Nice.
Those who pass will get a handshake. Those who don't pass will get a sad picture, some kind of sad
Paper and a
picture.
weak fan and a
They'll
paper.
get a frowny face.
You'll get a frowny face if you don't pass. I don't want to stress Tim Will out too much. Tim Will is already stressed thinking about the final.
I think you should actually give us write a test in Word and then give it to us. We can download and print it. Maybe do it.
And bring it up in webcam, on the.
I can't wait. You know why I'm so not looking forward to making this test? Because only 3 people answered the quiz. Or 4 people answered the quiz.
Although this will be advertised.
The only way I would take this seriously is if I had to there'd have to be something at stake. Meaning you'd have to bet something, or there'd have to if you didn't pass, you wouldn't get to continue here, or you'd have to raise your fee at $5, or something would have to happen. Otherwise, there's no point in taking the test. You want me to test you? I'll test you, but you got to put something online to be really tested. There's no test if there's nothing at stake.
We just wanted a report card.
Yeah, we just want
You want a report card? You want a report card right now? DVP?
Yeah, just
You don't talk to enough students, so you're kind of spinning your wheels. So it's there's no point in reading the ebook if you're not going to practice the ebook. That's how I feel about it. So right now you're spinning your wheels. You're doing the same. You have the capacity to talk to other students. You don't. So you're wasting your time. Jar?
Yeah.
You have a lot of improvement from a shy, neurotic loser guy to a loud, neurotic loser guy. Very impressed. Very impressed. Once again, you need to talk to other students, but I like that you're at least gung-ho. I don't know if it's just good intentions or you're naive or you actually are eager now that you are learning social competence. So this is encouraging. You're going to hit blocks along the way. You're going to hit these walls along the way. But I would advise you to do what you've been doing, is to just rely on your training. Rely on your training. Rely on your training. Keep practicing. Tim Will.
Thank you.
Tim Will,
yes,
you've come a long way. And I mean a long way. And that's only like a step. Because right now, you're neurotic over a test that hasn't happened and answers that don't matter. So you've come a long way for a short step. You got a long way to go. Smokey. I'm waiting for you.
you need a cigarette during class.
Yeah, I feel so much stress in class. I like it. Tim, well, I like that you give competent answers now. What I remember first asking you answer, you stutter the fuck around, and then you give me these general ebook answers like students are prone to do. Justification, ebook, pleasure, pain, right? Just yell things out. Didn't fucking make sense. Now, I like when you catch yourself and you correct yourself. Because you realize, I don't want that type of answer. And that means you're becoming aware of what is required to make a competent answer. That's encouraging. I always look for that with students when they're making competent answers. That shows they understand what they're learning. When they understand it, the next step is to have that realization. That means training. Training to get that realization. Travo, you are finally starting to sound like a male and not a female. This is encouraging. First talking to you, hey, I'm Travo. I'm Mickey Mouse's cousin. Now you're no longer Mickey Mouse's cousin. And also, when you you speak now, when you come to class, you're like the shy, timid guy. You're like the new kid in class. Every day for you is like your first day of school. Now you're coming to class, you're being more open. You need to continue that. Being more open, being more candid, just doing what you're doing. It's taking practice. You are starting to flip the switch in your realization to, it's okay to speak, versus you go back to, I'm shy, timid, travel, and if I give the wrong answer, the classroom is going to explode. You are on the verge right now. You are walking the switch back and forth. Last class, you were very open. Now you're back to shy new kid, first day of class. So it's annoying, but I see you're on the verge of that. So I'm like, fucking get to it. Come on. Same class. Nothing's changed. The only thing that's changing is your neurotic language in your head. That's the only difference. You have the capacity. You've done it last class. So again, keep practicing. The new guy. Not even expecting a report card on his first day to class. Wolfgang, 4 years at the academy. Woo! I don't know if it's a failure or a success, but you're finally here.
Wait,
Congratulations.
Wolfgang's been here 4 years?
He's been here a long time.
Whoa.
So now he's participating. Hopefully you'll see that a lot of these fears are just phantom fears. The pain is like a pain of a push-up. It hurts while you do it, but when you're done, it was just a push-up and it was worth it. Keep coming to class.
Alright, I'll do that.
Alright, I'll do that. Bro.
Thanks for the report cards.
Thank you very much.
Take care,
I
sirs. We'll
appreciate
see you
that
next
very much.
time.